This is Editing KJ with a quick note that this episode was recorded before the WGA strike and the SAG-AFTRA strikes were resolved, and in some cases possibly before the strikes began. We're super happy to be back, so please enjoy this episode.
I feel like the TLDR of Bella is that she deserved better.
Yes. I agree wholeheartedly.
My name is KJ, and you're listening to the Supernatural Opinions podcast, where some things in this world are supernatural. My pronouns are she, they, and this is the podcast where I talk to my fellow Supernatural fans about Supernatural, and we share our Supernatural opinions.
This week we're going to be talking about Bela Talbot. Just a reminder that discussion episodes are open to all seasons and episodes, and this may contain spoilers from episodes including and beyond Season 3, Episode 12, Juice and Bella. In fact, it will, because that is not the final episode that Bella's in, so we have more to talk about. Today being joined by my guests, Meredith and Elayna.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Meredith, do you mind everyone who you are, in case they somehow don't know yet?
My name is Meredith, my pronouns are she, her, and I would be deeply offended if you don't know who I am by now. If you listen to the podcast.
Elayna, please introduce yourself, because you've actually never been here before.
Hello, everyone. So I am Elayna May Darcy, pronouns she or they, whichever you feel like at the time. I am a regular host on Saving People Queering Things, which is a supernatural podcast. I occasionally host on Wayward Parents, which is the Winchesters podcast. And I also, with our friend August, do Find Things Well, which is an Our Flag's Death podcast. So basically, if it's gay and media, I'm usually podcasting about it. And I'm really stoked because, like, we've been friends for so long and I've never been on an episode of Supernatural Opinions. So it is overdue.
It is so wild that you haven't been here. It's kind of like when we recorded our very first Wayward Parents reaction, and that was the first time that we'd ever actually met each other.
Yeah, I was like, how? I was like, I've literally heard the name KJ 800 gabillion times in my life. And
that was like a year ago almost. And you,
so
like, this
weird.
is the first time that you're here. Like,
I'm so thrilled. I'm really, especially because this is about Bella specifically. And I am notorious for being a season 3 apologist when it comes to Supernatural.
Yes, please tell us a little bit first about your background with Supernatural in general.
Yes.
And then about why you love season 3, a season that I do not love.
Okay, so yeah, season 3. So I became a fan of Supernatural in 2011. So I've been around for a minute. I got into the show at a time in my life when I was in, like, I had this period of like several weeks where it was like between semesters. I had been hired to a new job that I hadn't started yet, and I just had nothing to do. And the one morning I happened to catch the episode Devil's Trap and was like, oh wow, this looks really good. Maybe I should watch the show. And my roommate, who was like never there, had the first 4 seasons of Supernatural on DVD. And so I was like, you know what? She's never here. She's not going to notice if I watch her DVDs. So I just binge watched my way through the first 4 seasons on DVD and then found seasons 5 and half of season 6 on the internet. And that was basically like, it was halfway through season 6 by the time I caught up.
Incredible. Did you watch The French Mistake live?
I did, and it was one of my most treasured memories as a Supernatural fan because I will never forget Misha tweeting "Hola, Misha amigos" live as the episode happened. I was on Twitter when that occurred, and it was legendary.
Delightful.
Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know if the tweets still exist. I may have deleted them for the sake of, like, preserving my dignity at this point, but I remember vividly that January, the episode was supposed to come out and then they pushed it a week. And so everybody in the Supernatural fandom trended #SaltandBurn the CW because we were so pissed that they pushed it back.
It was
bring that back.
Waiting for, honestly, I mean, what's even left of the CW to salt and burn?
It's got to be something. We got to salt and burn it so they don't come back.
It was so ridiculous. So, like, when I look back and I think about the fact that I was tweeting in 2011, Salt and Burn the CW, and now I'm sitting here in 2023, the year of our Lord, being feral over the Winchesters. It's been a journey. All of that to say, I very much have been steeped in supernatural lore. I love this show very, very dearly. It's been a huge part of my life for many years. And I, like I said, I do Wayward Parents and Saving People Queering Things, which has been one of the highlights of my life. I enjoy so much getting to do that podcast, and I'm so glad that I've met you and get to do other shows now because of it. And in regards to my season 3 love.
Yes, talk to us about season 3.
So, its only weakness is that it doesn't involve Cass.
Okay, valid. I do accept that. It's true.
Other than that, I feel like it existed. It was a season that aired during the writer's strike. And so, it was only 16 episodes. And because of that, it was truncated, it was shorter, and I feel like it is one of the most concise storytelling seasons that exists. There's barely any fluff in this season. And I really like it for that reason, because I feel like every episode has a purpose that contributes to this narrative of trying to save Dean from hell. And so I feel like it flows really well. And so I feel like most of the episodes they follow a very clear narrative, and they're really well told, I feel. It's one of the few seasons of Supernatural where when I try to look at it and I'm like, how many fluff episodes are there in this season? There's very few of them. I feel like every episode is important to the story they were trying to tell of the overall season, as opposed to you get to season 6, season 9, season 12, and you got half a dozen episodes that you can point to where you're like, this was just to fill space.
Oh yeah, there were times in season 6 where I forgot the plot.
Yeah, and season 3, you don't have to worry about that because there's fewer episodes, and so everything, at least almost everything.
Also, Sam and Dean are gonna have a fight about it every episode.
Yeah, I really like the finale for season 3 because we had the absolutely chilling little girl Lilith.
It's one of the best.
Yes, I am looking forward to that. Yes.
Yeah, season 3's finale is definitely in my top 5 out of 15 seasons. I just think it's a really solid storytelling season, even though it doesn't involve Cass, which is my one big gripe about it, because I am an absolute simp for Destiel and for Cass. So
I was so obsessed with Cass when I first met him.
What's not to like? Honestly, he's delightful.
I've never managed to really get really obsessed with Destiel, even though I just I don't really care what other people do with it, but Cass, I will keep that boy.
Yes. he is precious. He is wonderful. He is a great character. And even again, I'm a huge Destiel shipper. As I sit here at my desk, I can literally stare at 3 pieces of Destiel art on my wall as we speak. But Cass as a character, I think, is just such a well-written character. And it shows in the fact that they literally they transposed other characters' storylines onto him because fans latched onto him so much. Misha, he just did the thing. Misha came to work every day like it was his damn job, and we are all the better for it, I think.
Wait, we're supposed to be talking about Bella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Anyway.
Not that I don't love talking about Cass, but
yeah.
Bella.
But Bella.
Let's just take a quick minute to do a content warning, because we are going to be talking about a sexual abuse storyline, specifically sexual abuse of a minor. So if you are uncomfortable with that, you might want to just skip this whole episode. We're going to be talking about it because it's a big part of the character. We haven't gotten to that episode in our recap, so we haven't talked about it before now.
Yeah, so we're scrounging thoughts together.
I feel like the TLDR of Bella is that she deserved better.
Yes. I agree wholeheartedly.
She was such an interesting character, and she had such a fun dynamic with the boys, love,
delightful.
hate kind of thing. And it was really fun to watch her screw them over sometimes, and I feel like she should have come back.
Yeah. 9,000%. Had she not been cast in The Walking Dead, she would have been back.
Okay, so we haven't covered all the episodes on the podcast yet of Bella, so I thought I would give everybody a quick rundown of Bella.
Yes, please, let's do it.
First of all, her actual name is Abby, but we know her as Bella, so I'm just going to keep calling her Bella to avoid
Bela Talbot.
That's the way she wants to be known. We'll call her Bella.
Yeah, that's the name that we know her by, and that is what we love. So Bella was born in 1983, same year as Sam, so they're the same age, and in
Oh, I never realized that.
in 97 or 98, when she was 14 or 15 years old, a crossroads demon came to her and offered to get her away from her abusive parents, specifically her father, who was sexually abusing her. Her parents die. As a result, she sells her soul. She inherits her family fortune. You know, all it's going to cost her is dying in her mid-20s and suffering in hell for all eternity. Don't think too hard about that.
You know,
worth it.
BD.
Yeah, not a big deal. Not a steep price at all. Bella, who's now on a deadline and rich and who has knowledge of the supernatural existing, decides to use all of that to her advantage and make a comfortable life for herself with the 10 years that she has left. And, you know, maybe if she finds a way out of her deal along the way, that's good. And that's when she meets the Winchesters and this season happens. So that is the Bella. We have no Bella backstory up till now where we recap. So I felt like I should just recap that really quickly. And I also wanted to recap why we're talking about Bella in a separate episode, like why Bella gets her own episode. Because I tend to lurk on the r/supernatural Reddit thread. I don't spend a lot of time on Reddit, especially in fantasy, but I do lurk from time to time in the supernatural Reddit. And I found a post like 6 months ago being like, am I the only one who doesn't like Bella? And I wrote this long comment in defense of Bella. I'll link it in our episode description because I didn't like Bella on my first watch. I didn't vibe with her character. I'm like, she's mean for the boys. The writers just gave her this like sad backstory to like make her sympathetic before they killed her off. And I just didn't like her. And then I rewatched again and I was like, oh, first of all, I have a big old crush on her. She's delightful. She's super hot. She's kind of perfect.
Special shout out to the line, you know, how do you sleep at night? Naked, rolling in money.
Absolutely no hesitation.
No hesitation.
None whatsoever. Well
she
done.
practiced that.
And like her backstory is fascinating because it shows how exploitative demon deals are by nature. Like she sold her soul as a young girl, which I think leads to the question of like how old do you have to be to consent to selling your like damning yourself for eternity.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
I feel like if a crossroads demon seeks you out, then they will seek out someone that they know they can get a deal from. So you have to be young, you have to be desperate, and just that applied to Bella.
There's a later episode. Someone responded to my post reminding me of this. There's an episode in season, it must be 9, where Abaddon hosts a meeting with a bunch of soul collecting like crossroads demons, and one of them is in like a grandma vessel, and like Abaddon's kind of like, oh, like that's such a scary vessel, and she's like, little kids love making deals with grandma, and so like,
oh, I forgot about that.
I had also forgotten about that.
Ooh,
so like that's really
creepy.
frightening,
especially because demon deals. Oh no, demon deals are sealed with a kiss. I don't like that.
Oh, I had forgotten that until you said it.
Oh
okay,
no.
well that's nice. Good thing we put a trigger warning.
Well,
yeah,
I'd like to yeet myself off a cliff for that one, but it's
what
fine.
were you expecting? You're not supposed to like demons.
Yeah, I mean they are demonic.
I looked literally like right before we started recording. Just watched the episode where they're like Rock and Roll Never Dies from season 12, where they're hunting Lucifer in LA, and like it's like the perfect Crowley spinoff, and so I'm having a hard time like not liking demons in this exact moment.
Like there are always exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, this got me here. But like her actions aren't meant to be excused by her ending. Like she's not meant to be excused for being like conniving or like self-serving.
Well, what I've always thought was shitty about Bella is just there are so many characters in supernatural canon who like meet a shitty end and come back.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've been forever chagrined that like not only does she not come back, but please listeners correct me if I'm wrong, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think she's ever fucking mentioned.
Oh no,
ever again in the 13 or 12 seasons.
They just forget she ever existed.
She just, it's like,
I think the next time Bella is brought up is in 1519 in the end of series montage.
No, are you kidding me?
That's stupid.
I think she's got a scene or two. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like her pulling off the wig from Bad Day at Blackrock. I'm pretty sure that's in there.
That makes me want to fling myself into the sun, though. Like, why?
As a fandom, we never shut up about Adam, but like Bella is never.
Yeah. Bella just meets the shittiest ending and then is never regarded again. And that bothers a lot. Particularly because Supernatural is a show that struggles so much with its women characters.
Yes.
And one thing that I really was like, as I was thinking earlier today, I was like, oh, I'm going to be on this episode about Bella. What do I want to mention? And the one thing was that, like, Bella is, like, really the primary female character of season 3. And because of that, we kind of, like, gloss over the fact that Joe and Ellen never the fuck show up in season 3. They just...
Oh, yeah. They're gone.
Oh, we've discussed it.
Yeah, we did a Joe and Ellen episode, so we've talked about Joe and Ellen's entire arc.
Beautiful. That makes me thrilled because they just don't show up in season 3.
Or 4.
It's like you really only get Bella. And so it's like the writers at the time only felt like they could feature one important woman or like 1.5 important women per season. And that just bugs me so much because I'm like,
we might lose the men.
Yeah, y'all could have fucking had an episode that was literally Ellen, Joe, and Bella fucking figuring shit out, and it would have been solved in 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, and it makes no sense that Joe and Ellen aren't in season 3 either, because like Dean's on the clock. Dean is actively dying,
and they would care about that.
And they're gone. They're not here. They're not here for all of season 4 for the apocalypse, the looming apocalypse. They're just gone.
I'm sorry, but now I'm just obsessed over what would happen if Ellen and Bella met.
So
I feel like Ellen would be like a tough love mother kind of figure.
And I feel like Joe and Ellen would have such sexual tension.
I just want to talk about, first, before we actually talk about, like, portrayal, let's talk about what we almost had. Portrayal-wise.
We could have had it all.
Auditioning process for this season must have been wild, because according to the Supernatural Wiki, Cindy Sampson auditioned for Bella before being cast as Lisa Braden.
What?
Okay.
And that's called casting department for not doing that. Lauren Cohen, who got the role of Bella, and Katie Cassidy, who played Ruby this season, also auditioned for each other's roles.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Oh my.
So we almost had reverse Ruby Bella.
Strike that, reverse it. That'd have been weird.
Yeah, so, of the 3, like, nameable female characters in this season, like, everybody auditioned to be everybody. They're like, someone is getting these roles. It's gonna be one of these 3 people, but, like...
We'll just juggle the pretty girls.
Yeah. And Bella was originally supposed to be, like, a recurring character, but was up to a regular at the request of the CW. Every once in a while, the CW does do something not horrible.
And then they go and do something horrible just to strike that off.
I mean, yes. They wanted a second female, like, regular besides Katie Cassidy as Ruby. So they upped her to a regular. Unfortunately, her character at the time was not well liked by the fandom.
I mean, neither was any other fucking woman introduced to the show at any point.
I wonder why that is.
2000s, like, early 2000s fandom wasn't the vibe.
No, did not pass the vibe check.
Because they deprived us of Joe, too.
I would like to know, like, over time, like, when, like, queer fans, like, really started to, like, en masse watching Supernatural.
Pass.
Like, I would just be thrilled to know, like, what, like, those numbers over, like, seasons, like, season by season, because, like...
I'd be willing to bet cash money that it had something to do with Cass/Misha Collins.
Or cast money, huh?
Well done.
Thank you.
Enjoyed that.
Bella is the only series regular to be completely isolated to a single season in the entire show. Yeah. Out of, like, regular...
Wow.
Yeah, people build as, like, series regulars. She's the only one that's in like, only one season. She doesn't have any crossover with any other seasons.
Wow. I don't know if I ever fully processed that information.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is why we're talking about her here in season 3 and why I was like, Elayna, who loves season 3.
I'm a season 3 apologist.
Please come and talk about Bella.
Listen, season 3 is better than 90% of people pretend like it is.
I like it.
I feel like that is actually true. I will admit.
It's a good season.
I didn't even know it was controversial until starting this podcast.
Well, and I think that it doesn't place well amongst modern Supernatural fans because modern Supernatural fans are 90% into it because of Cass.
Yeah, I think you're right. Honestly, by the time I get here, I am ready for Cass, and I'm like, can we get through these 16 episodes? And I'm like, just skipping through for the ones I really like and leaving the rest.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, like, over in the other show that I'm on, Saving People Querying Things, like, it was a struggle trying to get through season 3 because Noah, our one host, like, he has never seen the show before, but he, like, possesses knowledge of the show via Tumblr. And so, like, he knows that Cass exists. He knows the casket.
Show him the angel.
And so the whole time it was just like, where's the angel? Where's the angel? Where's the angel? And I'm like, but you're missing that this is a good season because you're wondering where the angel is. But if you just trust that the angel is on his way, then you could respect this is a really well written season. Like, it's a solid season. Like, one of the, I mean, I know this is a Bella episode and she's not in this one, but like one of the best episodes of this season is the Christmas episode. Like,
yeah, okay, I will give you that. I loved it.
Oh goodness, that was
legendary
something.
to establishing the canon of the show, and it happens in season 3, and I feel like people gloss over that.
I actually think it's a big mistake that Supernatural doesn't have an annual Christmas episode.
Yeah.
There are so many things you could do with a Supernatural themed Christmas
Any
episode.
holiday episode would be delightful. They don't do enough holidays.
Well, that's why season 15's last holiday episode does
when they do all the holidays.
Just a little bit.
I'm just going to say, Sam gets his fingernails ripped off in that one also. So, like, Christmas and Sam's fingernails, they're a no-go.
But why? Why must we do this?
Yeah, and I'm very specifically squeamish about that.
So nasty.
But season 3, like, I feel like we never, like, Bella, like, swoops into the show, is an absolute badass, dies, and then we never see her ilk again. Like, she's legendary to the show, and it bothers me intensely that she never gets mentioned again.
Yeah.
In the 12 seasons after.
She's a really interesting character.
She's so different from like the usual characters we see. Like, a lot of the characters, you know, they wear like flannel, they live in their cars, and they have like this specific like vibe. And Bella is the opposite of that. She would be really good in like a James Bond movie.
Oh yeah.
She's so good. Honestly,
like James Bond wishes.
Yeah. She would reject James Bond.
And he would thank her.
Yeah.
Thank you for teaching me this valuable lesson, Miss Talbot.
As would I.
You'd be like, you're right. Well done.
I think if anything about the previous episodes that we have covered that have had Bella on them, I think like it's just general knowledge at this point. Like, I am thirsty when Bella comes on screen. It has been
so
a
much to do
chronic theme this season. I love her.
I mean, like, one of the glossed over things, but like in the episode Red Sky at Morning that she's in, like it's so powerful, I think, to see someone else objectify Dean Winchester for a change. Like when he just does the "don't objectify me." Like,
how does it feel, Dean?
Dean, literally you and every woman you've encountered in the last 20 years.
Especially in season 3, because he's on his little end of life, like, sex free.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna die soon, so I'm just gonna fuck anything that moves. Like, come on.
What about Bella? She's right there, and she seems willing.
She is right there, and she is willing to have angry sex with you. The thing that you are supposed to say is, yes, thank you, ma'am. And you just are like, don't objectify me. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Let her tell you a time and a place.
Yeah.
Bella's character is also really interesting because, like, we've seen most characters who learn about the supernatural either try to go back to a normal life or they become hunters and, like, completely immerse themselves in hunting.
Yeah, she's entirely unique in her experience.
And Bella's like, none of those things and, like, seek her own benefit, like, helping people or hurting people, whatever suits her needs best in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's like
she's very singular.
Thief. Like, yeah. This show was just not ready for her because she's so interesting and so unique, and like this show didn't deserve her.
You know, I think that's the best assessment I've ever heard of her character is this show wasn't ready for her. Because this season aired in what?
2007 and 2008, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It was not fucking ready for a woman with this much agency.
No.
And so they just didn't handle her properly because they didn't know what the fuck to do with her.
Yeah, and like not only is she a woman with a lot of agency, but she's like classy, she's rich, she likes money. There aren't very many characters on this show that do things for money.
Her whole life is on this clock. Like, she is on the clock, she's running out of time, and like she's out to to do whatever she likes with whatever time she has left, and everyone else be damned, because she is already damned and she's just rolling with it. Like,
and I think it sucks that she gets painted as a villain, because like
she's not really a villain. Like,
when you take like 10 seconds to think about what actually happens to her, and we definitely delved into this on Saving People Queering Things when we got to like her final episodes. Like, when you think about what happens to her and her response to it,
who wouldn't make that deal? Like, that is a totally rational decision to make, in my opinion.
any child who doesn't understand the implications of their actions, but who is being abused and is presented with an out, is absolutely going to make the same fucking choice.
She's clearly tried to get help before, because she says to Dean, like, you wouldn't believe me. Like, no one did. Like, clearly she tried to get help, and
no one believed me. And even they don't believe her.
And, well, even if she had known at the time that she was going to go to hell, like,
who cares?
either way,
she's already in a bad situation.
well, either way, she's in hell. Like,
Yeah, she's in hell in life or in hell.
If she takes this deal, she gets 10 years of not hell, and that's probably going to seem like an eternity at the time.
That's her whole life, probably. Like, because, you know, like, she's 14 or 15, she probably can't remember back any farther than 10 years. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, I feel like it isn't acknowledged that, like, for young people, when they feel like a certain thing they're experiencing feels like the end of the world, like, it does. It genuinely feels like the end of the world, sheerly because you haven't experienced enough life yet. Not as, like, a knock you or a detriment to you, but just, like, literally
say, like, oh, everything's the end of the world when you're a teenager, because it literally feels like it.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
Because, like, I'm not trying to, like, you know, toot my own horn, but, like, as somebody who's 32, like, things that happened to me when I was 22 felt like the end of the fucking universe. And now I sit here, and anything that happens to me that sucks, I'm like, well, it'll feel over in a week or two because life goes on. And the only reason it feels like that is because I've literally existed for more time.
Yeah.
And so I know that, like, when the bad stuff happens, things continue. But when you are that age...
Yeah, and you develop tools to help yourself continue, which you haven't developed when you're a kid.
Yeah, you develop tools, your brain grows and develops. Like, there are just things that you are able to understand the older you get with each passing year that, like, as a kid, you just don't get. And so if you're a kid who's being abused and you're presented with, hey, this is a way out, you're going to take that option.
Yeah. So all this to say that Bella taking a demon deal was completely justified. It made sense. Like, she was condemned to hell and she didn't deserve that, but, like, it makes sense for her to take that deal because it was it was her only escape.
It was the only way she knew how. And what sucks is that not only could the Winchesters not really recognize that, but the writers of the show never felt to come back to her and address that they did her dirty.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think they do super well. Like, fans really didn't like her, except for in her final episode. Like, they finally tapped into that. And, like, I don't think I would have wanted them to come out of the gate with that episode on Bella. Like, oh, here's Bella and here's her backstory. Like, this is why she's, like, mean. But, like, honestly, like, I think she's mean in, like, the best way. Like, it gives, like, mean, not to be stereotypical, but it gives mean lesbian vibes. Like, she's mean, but, like, she's not that mean. And, like, she's not wrong. Like, she tells Dean, like, that they're not so different, but, like, they're just, like, self-righteous about what they do versus what she does. Like, they're just mad because they weren't smart enough to come up with a way to do what they do and make money. Like,
my mom would call her a lovable jerk.
Yeah.
Like, she's mean, but, like, we like her. She's fun.
Yeah, and I mean, Dean even says that. He's like, he has this moment you can tell of, like, frustration where he's like, if you had just told us what was going on, we could have helped you.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, for all the Winchester's faults, I do believe that's true. I think if she had clued them in, I think they would have done,
because they clearly can't figure out how to get out of a deal, but they would have tried.
That's fair.
They tried.
But I think they would have, they would have done their freaking
They would have
best.
doubled their reasons to, you know, go through with it. And, like, yeah, that would have been the reason for Dean to actually, like, come up with a solution.
Exactly. And it sucks because...
If they cure Bella's deal, that means there's a way to, like, cure a deal, but, like, it won't somehow accidentally kill Sam, which is, like, the whole thing with Dean's deal. Is like, if they get out of Dean's deal, Sam might die.
Exactly. Like, you're not wrong.
I feel like Dean is at his best when he's helping another person.
Yeah.
Amen. Put that on a t-shirt.
And, like, I just, like, I love Bella. Like, first of all, like, truly can't even like express like how like much I just appreciate her business savvy.
Amen.
It's been a running joke. Not a lot of Bella episodes have come out on the podcast this season, so Elayna, you probably haven't heard even like an inkling of any of these jokes. But we've had many jokes about like, wow, the CW really should just like channel Bella energy a little bit more because they've never once been profitable.
No.
We've made all the broke CW jokes, like mostly in relation to Bella.
Listen, that like if you were to scroll back through my TikTok history, most of my most successful videos were me posting like Tumblr posts about the CW not being profitable because they're just fucking hilarious.
It's so funny.
Use my language, but they just are.
I don't know how any network that has like season 1 Riverdale on it didn't turn a profit that in 2017, but okay. Literally every single person I knew watched season 1 of Riverdale.
I didn't.
Except for Meredith.
I'm special.
That literally, like, when that news dropped about CW never being profitable, that's, I think, maybe my favorite moment as a Supernatural fan.
It was pretty
I was
delightful.
like, y'all, and
we saw that ending.
I relished in every single fucking meme made at their expense because I was like, this is what you get for queer baiting me for the last 12 years of my life.
We will kick you when you're down.
I mean, like, honestly, like, when you think about it, like, the main reason that the Winchesters don't like Bella is because she found a way to make money in a field that they are not
in this
making any
economy?
money. Like, they're going around helping people for free, and Bella is going around maybe helping people and making good fucking money, like millions of dollars. they could do that, and they just choose not to, and they're mad about it.
Right? Like, I'm watching Inuyasha, and one of the characters is a demon slayer, and she charges a fee most of the time.
Literally
Winchester should take
talking
notes.
to my niece about Inuyasha yesterday.
Right? They should just take some notes from Sango. I feel like things would go better.
Well, last year I watched Buffy and Angel for the first time.
Oh my Lanta. How was that?
I mean, it was delightful, but like Angel, like they charge for their services sometimes when they can.
I
Even if
watched
it's not all the
Buffy
time.
for the first time like maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, probably 5.
I watched Buffy because of August.
Yeah, I mean that's valid. I feel like I've watched several shows at this point because August. But yeah, I just though yesterday saw a post that apparently Pedro Pascal was in an episode of Buffy, and I did not know that. And
He
so
was, yeah.
I am chagrined.
Meredith, do you know which one?
No, I just saw it
No.
on a BuzzFeed listicle.
Yeah, and I was like, I am upset because he is maybe my fave, and I need to go back and find that episode. But that's unrelated.
More things we like about Bella.
Bella is just the best, and she is the bomb.com, and the writers didn't recognize it.
She's really fucking funny. She's hilarious.
Yeah, she is funny. She has some of the best lines, and she's always like so quick to have a witty retort, and I appreciate that about her. And she has a cat. Like,
Oh yeah, I have it on my list as a separate bullet point.
Wait, what is her cat's name? I feel like we learned that.
we did?
Did we?
I don't remember. I think we only see her cat in Bad Day at Black Rock. It's a
Okay.
Siamese cat.
Yeah, maybe we don't learn your cat's
I
name. It's been a
literally
minute.
wrote in my notes things I love about Bella personally, and then at the end of the list is has a cat. I hope she made plans for her cat leading up to her deal coming due.
What if she gave her cat to Gertie?
I bet you she did.
How dare you.
Gertie needs something to
If
keep her
not
busy so she
Gertie, then,
stops groping
one
young
of
men.
The, like
How dare
old
you.
white women that Bella scams with the spirit board. Like,
I will donate my cat to you, ma'am.
Listen, the fact that Bella worked with the spirit board, good on her, because I don't fucking touch one of those.
No, goodness.
okay, yeah, let's go back to Bella's business hobby because if I just look at the business model that we originally found out Bella has, is she talks to the ghost of the spirit board and they tell her where this shit is.
So yeah, is Bella an important question? Is Bella a witch? Yay or nay?
I know.
No,
think
she
some
was
of we've
supposed to just
seen.
communicates with ghosts and uses things that she gets. And I feel like a witch involves something different on this show.
I was gonna say we've seen Sam do that, but you know, Sam was the psychic at the time. So.
I feel like if Bella were to exist in a season of Supernatural in the year 2023, I feel like she'd be like a TikTok witch, where like she has the channel where she uses a Ouija board, but she isn't actually practicing. Like, I feel like she would be sitting, what did she say the one episode? She's like, the spirits aren't feeling chatty, or something like that.
You know, Bella would make such a great influencer.
Listen, I would listen to her.
And Literally, the ghosts are just like, hey, I got killed by this rabbit's foot that's cursed, and like a few years back, John Winchester like threw it in a storage locker. It's just kind of sitting there. She's like, okay, I'm gonna find some dudes, and I'm gonna pay them like $500 to break into that storage locker.
Listen, 89% of things are John Winchester's
and then
fault.
I'm gonna sell it for like a few $1 million.
Nice. Yeah, John Winchester is the Zeus of Supernatural. If he had just kept it together, then most things wouldn't be here.
I've never heard that comparison made, but that is the most accurate summary I've ever heard of that man in my life. Sweet goddamn, that does it.
I honestly cannot overstate how hot Bella is. Like, I know that there are more important things, but
there are more important things, but you sound really funny, so
we need to devote at least a moment or two to talk about Lauren and how much she can step on our neck, we think her.
Yeah, she could literally step on. Like, literally the moment where in Bad Day of Blackrock, where Dean breaks in her apartment to get the rabbit's foot back, like, and like he puts the sticky note on the wall, and it says turn around, and then she turns around and Dean Winchester's there, and they both are just like hot as fuck.
It's rude. It's honestly rude.
I'll just be here.
Like in public? Like y'all would do this? On television? In front of everyone. In front of my salad.
It's always like it's always like so weird seeing pretty people on TV, because like you go around with your face like that, like in regular day-to-day life. Like how do you function?
That's like whenever I see pictures of Jensen and Danielle together, I'm like, y'all go into the world, like y'all have to grocery shop looking like that.
I mean, they probably don't grocery shop, but
yeah. No, I bet they do. I bet those motherfuckers do. Excuse my language.
It is actually kind of rude, like how hot, like how like Jensen and Jared, you know, they're hot, and then their wives are like extra hot. Like it's actually kind of rude.
But Bella, though,
yeah, Bella, it's insane. She's just so pretty.
She's tall and everything,
and she's snarky about it, and it's delightful. And like,
I think that's the biggest element about Bella is her confidence.
Yeah,
that is the sexiest fucking thing about her.
Yes, I would also like to be sleeping naked and rolling in money, and I would like Bella to be there.
On silk sheets.
Yeah,
honestly.
This is, I mean, everything else has been very broad, but I have a very specific moment that I love Bella for, and that is Gordon Walker holding a gun in her face, and she's like, first of all, give me this priceless artifact, and second of all, I'm going to tell you that you're wrong about Sam Winchester being the Antichrist. I don't particularly like Sam Winchester. We don't get along, but I know that idiot is not the Antichrist.
Listen, we respect it.
Literally.
I feel like everything about Bella makes sense, like, after you realize that she knows what's going to happen after she dies, and she knows when she's going to die.
Yeah, and, like, she literally is like, I heard something about that, and then she, like, follows up, like, from my friend the Easter Bunny, because she's sarcastic as fuck, but, like, she's literally like, yeah, I heard Sam Winchester was the Antichrist, but I also met Sam Winchester. That guy is not the Antichrist.
And he's also a goober.
Yeah, that was mad at me because I barely shot him. And also, he saved my life for no good reason. Like, I gave him $10,000 just to be nice. just so I didn't owe him. Like, he was going to do it for free. And I was like, nah, here's some money.
Honestly.
I'm not owing you a favor.
I feel like if you've had all the interactions Bella has had with Sam, you could not walk away from those thinking he's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
No.
Gordon has had a very different experience with Sam, however.
Yeah, I think that's why I find like Gordon's friends, like, especially like Kubrick, the really religious one. So funny.
He's so fucking goofy.
Because he's like, his reaction is like, oh, like all these things are lining up. I'm definitely supposed to catch Sam. Like, of course he's the Antichrist, and Bella like has the same Sam experience of like Sam on his like worst, goofiest, clunkiest day. And it's just like, that moron is not even worth worrying about.
No, listen.
Don't even worry about it.
And you compare that to every time Gordon has met Sam.
Yeah.
Like that one episode they had where we first met Gordon, Sam spent most of it being like grouchy and defending vampires.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I just like, Sam's my little baby, so I'm always happy when someone stands up for him. But me, also like, that guy's not the Antichrist.
No.
We're talking about the same Sam Winchester, right?
Like, we're talking about the same weirdo in flannel, right?
Yeah, that's a little dork who wanted to be a lawyer. He just like loves school.
He was just
so
trying
much.
to be law boy at Stanford.edu. And you think he's the Antichrist?
Oh, hun.
And like, I don't know. Something about telling a man who has a gun in your face and like has crazy eyes like Gordon Walker that he's wrong about something like that is just like such a mood. And then to like literally be like, you're not gonna shoot me and you're gonna give me something that you deem priceless.
Yeah, like seriously, Bella, like full on.
The gun in the face, not enough to get her to cooperate.
She looked Gordon Walker in the face. She looked Sterling Brown in the face and is like, sir, get fucked.
Yeah.
Also, give me your stuff.
Yeah.
And it works.
And it works.
She's like, first, Sam's not the Antichrist. Second, I will help you, but you're gonna pay a fee. I'm not just gonna do it free just because you think you can wave a gun around in my face.
Third of all,
how dare you?
yeah, she's fantastic. Like, I love it. Yeah, I think Bella exists as one of, like, she's in my top 3 of the most underrated characters in the entirety of Supernatural canon.
Who else is in your top 3? Doesn't have to be in order.
Underrated in Supernatural canon. Bella is probably like number 2. Kevin is probably number 3. And Missouri Mosley is number 1.
That was this. I would like to put KJ's stamp of approval on that list.
Listen, Missouri Mosley deserved 800 episodes, and I will die upon that hill.
She was not enough.
She was amazing. She is like Loretta Devine. Come on.
Yeah.
It says so. Like,
legend.
she already has Divine in her name. Like, we don't really have to add much to that.
She's a fucking queen. And y'all had her right there, and we're like, we're going to have her in like 3 episodes.
Grey's Anatomy stole her. It's fine.
You watched that show too, so you got to have the full Loretta Devine.
She's not in enough, and her character's not.
I've never seen. I'm not a Grey's Anatomy person, so I don't know.
Her character's not super well loved over there.
I just know I'm chagrined because Missouri is my favorite. Like, anytime I ever write a fic, there's like a 98% chance Missouri is somewhere in the fic because I'm just like, she's fucking amazing.
Oh, man. So you're saying that, like, not only did Grey's Anatomy steal her, but they didn't even use her properly?
They did not use her well.
That's so unfair.
It is.
It's wrong. It's honestly wrong. It goes like Missouri, Bella, Kevin as my 3 most underrated Supernatural characters. If I had to rank them, I lied. I would replace Kevin with Joe.
She needed to come back.
Because I maintain, if I'm gonna ship Dean Winchester with any female, it's gonna be Joe.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
We were robbed, and that's another episode for another day.
I am a Joe Dean sibling energy fan.
That's a perfectly valid reading. It's valid, and it's perfectly valid, and I respect you, even if I disagree with you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Let's debate it on a future episode.
I'm a Dean Ash fan, so that's where I'm coming from on that.
That's fair.
I'm also that. I don't know how I can ship Dean with as many people as I do, but
you just got fun.
Listen, call it my Dean coding. I don't know.
I'm like a minor Joe and Sam shipper, but like it's so minor and kind of ruined by something else. But that's
Sam and who shipper?
Joe.
Oh yeah, we had this discussion earlier.
I don't think I've ever heard that sentence in my life, and now I'm reevaluating everything.
But what if?
Anyway, that's so off topic. And this week is specifically about our girl Bella. I think Bella would have made an excellent crossroad demon.
I mean, she does have business savvy.
Poetry snaps to that.
If we're gonna, send Bella to hell.
Wait, can I just pose just for a moment?
Yeah.
Just for listeners, just to ponder the possibility. An episode in which Bella and Rowena. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, the world would end.
Just the two
but it
of
would
them.
End so well.
The 2 of them and their energy collaborating, it would all be over.
Honestly, the reason that Supernatural did have to keep killing off all of its side and specifically female characters is because if they met, they would be too powerful, so they can't coexist.
Yeah, they would solve world hunger in 5 minutes, and there'd be no reason for any more seasons of the show.
But also, I feel like Bella and Rowena could solve world hunger. They just wouldn't.
They just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Unless someone was offering them lots of money, in which case they definitely would.
Oh yeah, they would do that quickly.
They They would do it with the quickness.
I would like to also invite our listeners to imagine a scenario.
Bella with fill in blank.
I mean, just an episode of Supernatural where Sam and Dean really need something, and they need a demon to get it, and they summon a demon, and Bella appears.
Bella's like, you're not getting anything.
Yeah.
Am I out of hell yet? No.
Bella's like, fuck the two of you on principle. But she probably would help them, but like she would make them do like some wild goose chase that they didn't need to do.
She would.
Like, no, I just had fun watching you squirm. I'll give you the thing now. That's my payment. You get to suffer.
I had the thing the whole time.
She'd be great. She would be fantastic with that shit.
Because, or imagine an episode where like something is funky with some demon deals, and Sam and Dean roll into town, and like the demon making these deals that are going slightly funky is Bella, and like whether that be on purpose,
that would be amazing.
Or like something's happening and she's like on their side, like she doesn't want the deals to be funky because like demons have integrity according to Crowley.
Also, Bella has some integrity too.
Bella can like honor a deal, and she appreciates a good deal, so I feel like that would make her a perfect crossroad demon.
It would. I feel like she'd be so good at that job, it would be a little rude.
She would climb the ranks so fast.
Like, she would eat Crowley for breakfast.
I mean, yes, but also just like picture Crowley King of Hell, and then like the person who like brings him like the soul members is like Bella, because she is like once Crowley becomes king, she is like the king of the crossroads.
She's number
person.
one.
Also, I have so much trouble imagining her like reporting to someone.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like she would be the contender versus Crowley. Like, it would be Bella versus Crowley, and she'd probably win, and Rowena would be like, honestly, Slay Queen.
Yeah, it would be like a late seasons where things in hell are already pretty destabilized. Oof. Imagine, if you will, Crowley versus Abaddon versus Bella.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I'd be on the floor.
Just want Bella and Abaddon to interact. Just want to see what happens.
Because like Crowley is perfectly willing. Imagine if they didn't always have to be like relying on Crowley to do all the first Blade stuff. Because like Bella would have done that, and she would have been like totally on board to kill Abaddon.
If Bella had been part of the first Blade arc, we could have had it fucking all.
Yeah, maybe that arc wouldn't drag. It's a season and a half of Mark of Cain.
That's one of my favorite arcs,
stuff.
but it would have been so much better if Bella had been part of it.
Oh my gosh, we were robbed. Why is it every time we have one of these episodes, we make Supernatural like better than it ever could have been?
Or imagine, so they pop the box, they open up the cage, cast Osius to Lucifer, and then like Bella is ruling hell.
Listen, the role of Supernatural podcasts in the year of our Chuck 2023 is to come up with solutions that are way better than that. And that's what we're doing.
Just imagine Bella, Queen of Hell versus Cassifer.
It would have been fucking off charts. It would have been amazing. It would have been incredible. And we could have had it all. But they were like, nah, we're going to take the easy way out. We're going to take the cheap way out. We're going to take the, you know what, I'm just going to say it, the Ross Lemmings way out of it. They were the worst fucking writers on that show. And if we had gotten rid of them in like season 2, we'd have been way better off. But yeah.
Charlie and Eileen would have probably survived a lot longer.
Listen.
Well, let's go back to like Bella versus Cassifer for a second, because I feel like if they ever had a fight, it would be like mostly them sassing each other.
Yes, it'd be so much sass.
It'd be the sassiest fight in Supernatural history.
We wouldn't be able to handle it, but we would love watching it.
But we'd be grateful.
Oh yes.
There would just be like smoldering piles of ash like everywhere as people just like combusted from the overwhelming hotness and sexual tension of Misha.
Yo, Misha and Laura, I'm not ready. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to throw Jensen in there, but Misha as Cassifer is like a different brand.
Yeah. Well, my personal favorite, and I know I'm in the minority with this, is Misha as the weird empty voice.
Yes, Meredith hasn't watched the empty season, so
I love the weird empty voice. It's so fucking ridiculous.
I'm always ready for Misha playing like another character, though.
He's so weird and he's so unfair. It's fine. As a theater person, it's a head voice, and I'm like, I enjoy this.
I'm a big fan of like vaguely like Eastern European Apocalypse World cast.
I was gonna say the Apocalypse World German cast.
Yes.
Becky is like, I am Castiel, and I have feelings and emotions that sounds like this. Yeah, he's great. But anyway, Bella.
I have no more more notes. Does anyone else have anything they want to talk about with Bella specifically? Ways that she was robbed, things that you enjoy about her that we haven't already talked about?
I like that she has wigs.
Yes.
Yeah, love some wig work. Honestly, I think the Winchesters, like, they do a lot of disguises. They don't do enough wigs.
No. Can you imagine Dean Winchester
They could do a
with
wig.
a mullet wig? Could have
I
had it
heard
all.
mullet wig, and
Dean Winchester with a
that's too
mullet wig.
much.
We could have had it all.
I'm just saying, if the FBI is actively looking for you, you could stand to get creative with the costuming, and Bella knows that, and she is excellent.
She recognizes it. She knows what's up.
Yeah, she's better at disguises than they are.
She really is.
She does like
She
does like
proves it
an
in
American
episode
accent.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she has wigs. She has disguises.
The only way in which Bella could have been better is if she had slapped on a goofy, silly mustache. And that's it.
I feel like that wouldn't have worked with the waitress outfit, but we can get in a different outfit.
No,
Outfit
it would
episode.
have worked with the waitress
I
outfit.
would like to posit Bella's silly goofy mustache in the formal wear.
Sure.
Like, the full formal
Let's do
wear.
it.
I would just like to imagine like in a scenario where she doesn't screw them over in that episode and like they are all like mad at each other at the end, where like they do their heisting and then they go for like a drink and then they're just getting drunk and like a goofy mustache comes out. That's what I would like.
She goes to the powder room and then she comes back with like a handlebar.
Only if she gets to dramatically rip it off.
We haven't talked about Sam's sex dream.
Do we have to?
No, do we have to? Yeah, I'm on board with that. I absolutely hate that. It's one of my least favorite things about season 3.
Yeah,
I did my time.
It's
I already
really,
discussed
really
that.
out of place when we talked about this in the episode. It's really out of place, and I am very
If anybody
uncomfortable with
should
it.
be having it, it's Dean.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate it.
Up to that point, but like also like can't blame Sam.
Like, I mean, same, but also nay.
Yeah, it's really out of place in the episode too. We talked about this in the episode. It serves no narrative purpose in the episode. Like it's just there to be there.
It's just there to be like, LOL, look at Sam having a sex dream. Tee hee 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 hee. And I'm like, this is pointless.
And like maybe it is because I headcanon like the demisexual Sam so hard. But I find it deeply uncomfortable as well.
It is deeply uncomfortable. It is very deeply uncomfortable.
I find that way less uncomfortable than any of the times we see Sam actually having sex. I don't know why. That's just like...
Because it serves no purpose. Because at no point in any other episode does he show romantic interest. And no point after does he show romantic interest. It is literally, and it is confirmed by Crippy, that it was literally existed in the episode to be like, LOL, look at Sam being a slut. Like, and that's...
Okay.
That's useless.
Look at Sam. He has a boner, and we're gonna make boner jokes about it.
Like, it just listen, I love and respect Eric Kripke as a creator because he gave me one of my favorite shows of all time. But sometimes I'm like, sir, what's happening in your brain that makes you make these choices?
At the end of season 5, we're gonna do an episode of like, should you stop watching Supernatural season 5? And like, we're gonna talk about Eric Kripke as a person.
Please invite me because I have thoughts. I have many opinions about that.
I don't know. I felt the need to bring it up, but now I don't know why I felt the need to bring it up.
But no, because it's a weird moment in this season.
Mm-hmm.
It feels out of place, out of character, out of everything, and it happens, and then it's never addressed again. It's a weird moment in the season. It's a very degrading moment in the season because it's like Lauren did not need to get down to like her skivvies for this scene.
Yeah.
Just because you were like, LOL, look at Sam having a bone. Like, no, that didn't need to happen.
Let's talk about a better not real sex scene with Bella, which is when she pretends to have sex with Dean and he's not even in the room.
Exactly.
She did that perfectly.
Yeah. She's like, after this we should have really angry sex. Like, yeah, that's a perfect line. And he perfectly responds to it. It's a great scene.
Oh yeah, I think he was a little bit scared of how much he wanted to take her up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. And it was good. It was a well done scene.
And I love when they're like up in the room and Dean's like doing the actual heisting and like the guard like goes to check on them and Bella just like smears the shit out of her makeup and it's just like, you need the room for a couple more minutes and then like the guard passes Dean in the hallway and just like is like, oh, that guy's about to walk in on his wife sleeping with someone else and he just goes on with his day.
Right? Like, it's a fantastic moment. Like, and that's the thing that, like, baffles me so much about Supernatural. This may be, like, the last major point that I have, is just that I don't get how Supernatural is a show that's able to have points like that are so, like, hilarious and empowering and goofy, while also having moments that are so degrading, like oh, look, we're hooking up because I'm attracted to Sam, even though I'm not, and that's never going to be addressed again. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to reconcile.
I mean, I think this goes back to all of our business savvy Bella jokes. It is Supernatural and the CW are just not as business savvy-ish.
Supernatural hasn't caught up to Bela Talbot,
yeah,
is what I'm
honestly,
hearing.
she's too business savvy and she can't do it. And you know what? I love, if we're gonna talk about like a better Bella and Sam moment, the second episode that Bella is in when she has their car towed and like they're really mad at her and she's like, "What are you so mad about?" And Sam's like, "You shot me."
That's valid.
You shot me in the shoulder.
And she's like, it was barely a graze. Like, she tells him not to be dramatic. She's like,
I barely grazed you.
I like after she leaves and Dean's like, "Can I shoot her? Not in public."
That's my favorite moment with
Like,
Bella,
Sam has to
actually.
think about it first.
that's such good
Can I shoot
energy
her?
for her to bring
Not
out
in
in
public.
them. And like, they really did just waste it.
Yeah. Bella is the number one character of Supernatural where I'm like, we could have had it all.
So much wasted potential.
Yeah, absolute. She is the supreme example of wasted potential in this show. Like, in terms of actress, in terms of storyline, just across the board.
Well, and if she could have helped them, if they had done her demon deal thing, like just even a little earlier in the season, and maybe they meant to. Honestly, this could be a writer's strike victimization situation where, like, if they had done that earlier in the season, like she maybe could have been an ally as they tried to get out of this deal. Like maybe because the original plan is for Sam to get Dean out of the deal by the end of the season, and like maybe that could have been the team up. Like Bella needs out of her deal, they need out of Dean's deal. Like maybe they team up. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten cast and the show would never have been the same, but like maybe that could have been a plan. And then they either couldn't afford her because I mean, you know, the CW can never afford to pay anyone for long.
Except for Jensen Ackles, apparently.
Or just like the writer's strike didn't have time for that, so like, okay, we're gonna kill everybody. Or what, I don't know. I would love to know what happened, but yeah, it just seems like a shame to
Well,
have
and again, shortly after that, he was signed
too, like
to...
maybe she'd already been signed, so they knew that she had to die this season.
Yeah, and I mean, because she ended up being a series regular on The Walking Dead for many seasons, and she was fucking iconic on the show.
Yeah, and like that's
So, like,
amazing.
good for
So
her.
glad for her.
But is she still on The Walking Dead?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Nothing
I'm
stopping them
very
from bringing
wrong.
her back after that. Like,
Yeah,
just
She
saying.
stayed on it for pretty long. Even if she's not on it now, I'm pretty sure she stayed on it for a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, so like worthwhile, but
I'm glad that they appreciated her.
yeah, at some point she would have been done. And like I'm sure she could fit one episode in if needed. Like
You could at least mention her.
Wouldn't it be a plot twist if she ended up in the Winchesters?
that would be I don't know how that would work, but
I don't know how it would work either, but you know what? I'm open to fucking anything with that show at this point.
I was just looking to see where The Walking Dead filmed.
Atlanta,
But they mostly filmed in Georgia, I believe.
Yeah, not big.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was. I'm sure if it was in Canada, they would have made
I
something
do
more.
have the Winchesters recording on TV downstairs because I realized as we
Incredible.
were recording this episode, it was going to be on.
Yeah,
and I was like,
should be
oh,
wrapping
snap.
up about now. My Twitter is going to be too dangerous to look at tonight.
oh no. Yeah. Oh god.
But it's fine, 'cause I already have bingo, so I don't care anymore about stalking. But yeah, anyone else have anything they want to bring up with Bella aside that they love her? Because
Hashtag Bella deserved better, Lauren. And we were wrong. The end.
Basically. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we our only real segment that carries over from a regular recap episode is our name that episode segment, because we have to decide what we're calling this episode, and so we do them like friends titles, where it's like the one with this thing or the one where this thing happens. I think my suggestion for this week is going to be a winner across the board, and everyone's going to love it. But I think the one where Bella was robbed is.
I was literally just thinking that.
Yes, that was. I was gonna say Bella was robbed with a TM symbol, but that works well.
Yes, let's do the one where Bella was robbed. I was about to suggest that.
Popular. I thought that might be a popular opinion.
The one where Bella was robbed. I will share the shit out of this link. And this was so fun.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and feelings and passions about Bella.
Thank y'all for inviting me. This was a delight.
Meredith, where can people find you if they want to find you?
Lamenting Bella at Shades of Deianira on Tumblr, Instagram, and sometimes TikTok. And if you go there, you'll see lots of really cool drawings for the fantasy novel I'm writing.
And Elayna, where can people find you if they want to hear from you?
So people can find me. I really should have like a unified username, but I don't just yet. I am at Elayna May on Twitter. I am at Elayna Musings on Instagram, and I am at Desi Elayna on TikTok because reason. I have feelings about Desi, and I mostly post about that on my TikTok.
Also, please buy Elayna's book.
Yeah, I have a book out called Still the Stars, and it's a YA fantasy novel in verse about like a queer fat kid who goes on like adventures in space and tries to like feel good about herself while also, you know, fighting intergalactic demons.
It's delightful. And also go listen to Elayna's podcast.
Oh yes,
there's 3 of them.
Yes, there's multiple of them. So KJ's on one of them. It's called Wayward Parents. I appear on that every so often. It is about the Winchesters, which is the Supernatural prequel airing currently on the CW. I'm also on Saving People Queering Things, which is about Supernatural, and Find Things Well, which is about Our Flag's Death, which is the gay pirate show. And me and August have a great time on there. And we haven't recorded an episode in a while, but we're hopefully going to be back to that soon.
Season 2 is coming.
Season 2 is coming, and I don't know if my body is ready, because I miss my gay pirates so much, and I'm ready. So yeah, I do lots of podcasts and blog posts and poems, and I just like gay fandom stuff. Come yell about gay fandom stuff with me on the internet. It's my favorite thing.
It really is a delight, honestly. And next week we'll be back to our recap of season 3, episode 13, Ghost Phasers. So come back for that.
Love that for y'all.
I've been KJ, and this has been Supernatural Opinions. If you enjoyed our show, the best thing you can do is subscribe on your podcast app of choice and tell a friend. Check out our link tree in the episode description for all of our social media and any other Supernatural-related projects we might be working on. Send us an email. Our address is supernaturalopinionspodcast@gmail.com, or reach out directly at KJ, at @KJ on all platforms. Thank you to Joe Veretta for our theme song, and our logo was created by Faith Ebert of faithanddesigns.ca. The episode was recorded, edited, and produced by me, Ed and KJ. If you want to hear more from me, you can check out my other podcast, Series of Opinions. And last but not least, a huge thank you to all of our guests.
Some things in this world are supernatural. What we need is a savior.